Welcome to the Order of the Dragons. Today we're going to be continuing another video of the Conqueror's Blade Basics tutorial, and today we're going to be talking about crafting. We're going to be talking about the unit crafting and the hero armor crafting. There's two things that you can craft in the thing, as well as there is siege crafting, which I will get into that later. Let's go ahead and do the unit crafting. So we have the unit refinery agent. This is the first guy that you're going to talk to after you get all the resources. And to know what exactly all the resources that you're going to need for each thing, the first thing you need to do is first you need to go to your unit tree. On the tutorial, it's going to talk to you how to recruit all your units and stuff. It's going to show you how to recruit your sword militia. But it all depends on what region you're at. So since I'm part of Asteria, I'm going to click on Asteria and I'm going to be like, oh, okay, I want Javelineers. Since I've already clicked on the honor, so it requires honor to get these to unlock through the unit tree. So boom, I've just unlocked through the unit tree. That's 500 honor for the Javelineers. I'm going to immediately go up to the barracks here. I'm going to click on this plus sign right here, and I'm going to scroll down until I find the Javelineers. You'd be like, okay, so Javelineers, it requires 28 Demony's Jacket Plates and 28 Alsterian Javelins. Well, for this, you can actually quick buy it and purchase 28 of these, and you can do the same thing for the weapons here, 28 of these. But right now, we are going to show you guys how to craft this armor. So go to the unit armor craftsman. The unit armor craftsman is only for unit armor. You cannot equip any unit armor. You have to go to the hero craftsman to actually craft all those armor. We'll talk about that later. So you go over here to the unit armor craftsman. Click on the unit armor. We know we need the Demony's Jacket Plates. And the Demony's Jacket Plates requires cloth 1, leather 1, iron 1. So you can either calculate in your brain or go to the or use a calculator and stuff like that to figure out what, if you want to be precise and how much you need for 28 times A and stuff like that. But we're just gonna, since this is the last day till the reset to the open beta, the open weekend for this week, so we're just gonna go ahead and just craft everything we can to get all the stuff. So okay, so I know I need cloth 1, I need leather 1, and I need iron 1. I'm going ahead and go over to the unit weapons craftsman as well, and I'm going to go to the Alsterian Javelin, and I'm going to look at here. It's like, okay, I need lumber 1, I need iron 1, and I need copper 1. So it requires quite a lot. I've already crafted a couple of them here. So if I move up to here, I was like, oh, okay, well, I can only craft, for some reason, I can only craft this 5 at a time for some reason. So all right, let's start crafting here. It's pretty weird how you can only craft 5 at a time. I guess that's just how they wanted to design it for the higher things. I don't really know, but yeah, they just do that, and you can immediately transfer all to your wagon, or you can change it, send to camp and stuff like that. But let's go ahead and go over to the unit refinery agent, and let's talk to him right here. And we know we need cloth, we know we need leather, we know we need iron, and we know we need copper, and we know we need lumber. So to get all these resources, I'll put a link in the description of my previous video of the open world and how to get all the resources and stuff like that. But let me go ahead and talk a little bit about that. There's multiple different types of resources. You can head outside. If you look on the map here and you click on show resources, it's going to spread up all diamonds and stuff like that. You need a certain amount of extraction tokens to bring out the extraction tokens, and a certain amount of bronze to actually get all these stuff. But you need to bring a wagon out there, and so we know we need cotton. We know we need cotton to create the cloth. So we go over here to the meager cotton field. We'll use 2 extraction tokens. We'll get all of our cotton that we need. Make sure you bring out militia swordsmen, because they have a higher yield and have a higher chance of getting higher grade stuff. So you get this, you get all your cotton, and then you head over, let's say, over to here. If I can actually click on it right. Here. Oh, yep. Okay, we go to the pasture to get leather, so we get as much of stuff as possible from the leather. We use 3 extraction tokens, and same as lumber for over here, and then you have iron and copper and stuff like that. You could find that over there. I do not know if it's going to be exactly the same thing, so it could be different on the reset. So we got copper and iron right here. So we got iron over here, and then we got copper on the other side, I believe. If I can actually scroll over it, things a little bit buggy. But yeah, you get all that stuff. You bring all that stuff, and you go over to. You fast travel back to the base, and you go to the billeting officer, and you enter your camp. You go to your supply dump. You look at your wagon. You have all your stuff in here, as you can tell. So like, I'll have all this stuff in here. Okay, I wouldn't have the leather. I'll have my animal hides. I'll have my raw cotton, stuff like that, and you just click transfer all, and boom, so all of the stuff is back in there. And so now you head all the way back to your unit refinery agent, and you select refine resources and materials. And so, okay, so I know I need a lot of iron, because it requires a lot of iron to create the Javelineers weapons and the Javelineers armor. So I'm just going to go ahead and craft a bunch of these. So let's see. So it's going to require 5 minutes. Go ahead and craft all the iron. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to craft a lot of iron, craft a lot of copper, I'm going to craft a lot of lumber, I'm going to craft a lot of leather, and I'm going to craft a lot of cloth. And once you craft all that stuff, you can calculate it if you really want to, what exactly you need, because you need 28 so you need 5 iron for one weapon for the Javelineers. So you'd be like, okay, 28 times 5, and you craft that. How many you actually need from here. So 28 times 5, and then you're probably going to need a lot over here. Same as the armor. So I'm going to craft all of these, what exactly I need, and I am going to take you guys to show you guys how to actually craft the armor. All right, now that everything is crafted from, you've already crafted the cloth, leather, lumber, copper, and iron. It'll appear right here under if you click on resource piles, it'll show everything that's in your wagon to everything that's in your thing. So go ahead and send to camp, or you can send it to a wagon if you're planning to transfer it to somewhere else. But go ahead and send it, all your stuff, to camp, and you head over right back to the unit armor craftsman, and you select F. Like press F on him. He's like, okay, we need Demony's jacket plates. Let's go ahead and see, because I don't know if it's bugged or not. I want to craft 28, but I guess you have to craft 5 at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and craft all of these, and then we'll get to the unit weapon craftsman. All right, now that we have all got that in our stacks of 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I know I've crafted already 5 of these already at the beginning of the video. So what we're going to do is immediately click to send to camp. By the way, look at this. So it requires 5 to craft 40 of these. So it does require a lot of cloth. So I would definitely say you would need if you're trying to go for at the very beginning, you would immediately think, okay, I need to get a lot of cloth first, and I need to get a lot of leather first. Cloth, leather, and iron. At the very beginning. So let's go ahead and head over to the unit weapons craftsman. Let's click F on here, press F on here, and use unit weapons, and we're going to go to the Upstarian javelins. It's going to be the same thing. They'd be like, oh, yeah, okay, so we need 5 at a time, so I'm going to go ahead and craft 28 of these, and then we'll head over, we'll see if we can recruit those Javelineers. All right, so now that we have crafted all of our thing, we're going to immediately send to camp. Again, it says lumber 1, so I was wrong. Iron, copper, bronze, lumber, cotton, leather, like all the stuff is a must need. All right, now that you have crafted all the unit weapons craftsmen and the unit armor craftsmen, we're going to click on you here, and we're going to click on the plus sign. And we're going to go to the back to Javelineers. It's like, okay, we got 30 out of 28, 35 out of 28. And it's going to cost us 2,920 bronze to get the, to unlock it, to add this to the thing. Boom. So now we've spent all that bronze. Upgrade your camp barracks to raid your unit. Okay, so camp barracks. They currently do not have that in the game yet on the CBT side. As you can see on enter your camp, you go level 1 barracks. You have to upgrade this yet. They don't have it opened yet. So if you already have too many slots, go ahead and just be like, oh, okay, I want to disband a unit, like disband one of your militias. But you never really want to disband your militias. Well, actually, you can, because they only cost 500. You only need militia when you know you're actually going to go outside and collect resources and stuff like that. So now that I've disbanded the militia, I'm going to get this. I'm going to use my bronze, and boom, I've just created where Where is he? Javelineers, right here. So he's already crafted. I can take him out into battle. I can do all that jazz. There are. Let me go ahead and notify you about the unit component craftsman. There are higher tier units that require. So if I look at male halberd here, it requires your fur lined fabric. It requires your wakes leather. It requires your or forged chainmail and stuff like that. All that stuff can be crafted at the unit component craftsman. It looks like they haven't put out the higher tier of stuff to craft. So all that stuff that you need, you see all this the rare stuff that you get from the resource zones. This is what you use them for to craft better tier equipment. So I think that's pretty much it for the unit things. Oh wait, let me go ahead and inform you about the insta-buy. So let me go ahead and disband units here, and let me go over here and go on javelins again. On quick buy here, I'm going to tell you this. Time is money, so it's so much cheaper. 1,040 here to get all of these. 1,040. Boom. Only cost 1,040. And it took us so long to craft all that stuff. It costed us 2,500 bronze to get the cotton outside. It costed us even more to get the leather and to get the iron, to get the copper, all this stuff, just to craft only a few Demony's jacket plates. When it was so much easier just to quick buy them. Boom. So much easier. Like if you know how to trade and you're just putting up in the marketplace and you have a lot of money to spare and you want to just get units quick, this is how you do it. But this is only for lower tiers. For higher tier units, like the halberdier is going to require the higher tier stuff. So like, let's say like I was talking about the unit component craftsman. This is when the higher tier stuff, you cannot actually purchase the quick buy. You can't quick buy the higher tier stuff. So this is when you're like, okay, this is when I'm going to go outside. At the very beginning, you don't really need to craft all the beginner tier stuff. So like on the open weekend, I'm just going to purchase everything and quick buy them because it's just going to be instant like that. Because I'm going to know how to create a lot of money. I'm going to get all that money. I'm going to instantly get all my units and I'm instantly going to go into battle. Like I don't need, I don't need to go outside and get resources. The only time when I need to go out to get resources is because I'll be selling stuff on the market. But that's pretty much it. So just quick buy them at the very beginning, first tiers. But the later tiers, you have to craft them, which just takes forever. But that's just how the game is going to be, in which sucks. So let's go ahead and talk about hero crafting. Okay, so hero crafting is pretty much very similar to the unit crafting, but it is different on how you get the resources. You do not go to the resource nodes to get the hero crafting resources. To get the resources, you go outside and attack bandits, and they give you a certain amount of resources over time. So if there's like a billion bandits around, just massacre all the bandits if you can, and get like it's all about RNG to get amount of resources. It's a random amount of resources you get from each bandit. So you stack up all that resources, but you can also go to the smuggler here. Smuggler's good, which costs bronze or silver to get all this stuff. So if I just click on here, so let's say, okay, so I've already crafted light armor, so right here. So I know if I want to, I want to craft a Nodachi. So let me go ahead and purchase a bunch of this iron here, because I know it's going to require iron. I know it's going to require copper. So purchase all that, and I know it's going to require wood. So I am going to craft a lot of wood here because it's going to require quite a decent amount. I've already used up all my silver. It doesn't matter right now because this is the last video I'm going to be doing for CBT1 because everything's going to be reset. So I'm going to head over to the hero unit refinery dude over here. I got all the stuff from the smuggler. I got stuff all the way from the bandits hunting and everything. So I'm going to head over to here refinery over here. And it's very similar to the other thing. To craft tier 2 iron, it requires 3 iron 1, which is that you get from the bandits and you get from the smugglers. So I'll be like, okay, but to know what you need to craft, I'm going to head over to the workshop over here. I'm going to heroes, weapons, and armor. I'm going to go to personal weapons right here, and I'm going to scroll all the way down until till I see female Nodachi. They've split up the armor and the weapons to female and male. I don't know why the weapons though. I get the armor, but the weapons both still have a female female and male split. Like for the armor, what they should have done is just had an armor that adapts to your body, changes to your body and all that stuff. But that's not how they did it. So they have separate things. So you scroll down until you find, let's say, okay, I'm level 30, so let's click on here. My gender is female, so okay, gender female. Level required level 30. And then look up here, it says iron 2. Iron, wood 1, and copper 1. So I am going to say, okay, so all this stuff. Hero crafting is a lot shorter time than unit crafting. You cannot get hero gear anywhere else besides from crafting or purchasing crafted stuff from the marketplace. So I'm going to go ahead and head over here to the hero refineries over here, and I'm going to click on materials here, and I'll be like, oh, okay, so I already have iron tier 2, which you also get iron tier 2 from the bonus items at the carrier. If you click on the courier, if you captured a city in your house, sometimes they'll send you some sort of bonus item in the mail and say they'll give you like some sort of a couple crafting supplies and stuff like that. But also on the OBT, if you purchase a pre-order pack, they're going to give you some base supplies and everything like that as well. So I know I need 5 more, so I want to craft 5. So I'm going to go here, say okay. It costs 250 bronze to craft 5, so I'm going to click on start crafting. I'm going to finish all of that. So now I've got 5 more. I'm going to immediately head over to the workshop overseer. I'm going to click hero weapons and armor. I'm going to find my weapon, that the female level 30 Nodachi. All right, it's right here, and I'm going to look at here. One thing that you need to make sure is that you click get items at the thing. If you do not click that, once you're done crafting, it's not going to immediately go to thing. So make sure you click get items, and okay, once you do that, you go to the personal weapons. You find the weapon that you're looking for, or the armor that you're looking for, and you click on that, and you click start crafting. All right. So that's the basic thing on how you craft stuff. Now I'm going to talk about RNG and how see here, okay? So I got an Imperial Nodachi, an uncommon thing, which is already green here. You will get an uncommon all the time from crafting. It's not as, let's see here. I got a slashing armor penetration 807, but my Imperial Nodachi is better than all this stuff, but I have a slashing armor penetration +1 on this thing. How RNG works in this thing, here, let me show you a couple pictures. So here on this picture, we got we have a legendary bow and a legendary bow and an uncommon bow. So on both of these bows, as you can tell, is that the uncommon bow for some reason has better stats, like close to better stats than the legendary bow. It's because it had a better roll. There's 2 types of RNG in this game. First type is that you have a chance to get a legendary from an uncommon. From uncommon to rare to epic to legendary, you have a chance to get either one of those, and then you have a chance to get a very high roll. As you can see in this picture, we have 2 legendaries, and in these 2 legendaries, we have the very low rolling, and then we have a very high rolling. As you can tell, that roll went into the 200s, and this roll went into the 10s and the 20s. Like, it all depends on the roll. It's all that RNG chance. You literally could get an uncommon gear, and you get this insane roll on that uncommon gear. It's just, like I said, it's all about that RNG chance. I've never have gotten a very high roll on my gear before. This is a picture that one of the persons from our Uncrowned community sent to me. Thank you again for that. This helps in the video because this is insane. You don't. It's all about the rolls. So you could get a legendary gear and be like, this is good to remember. You could get a legendary gear and be like, heck yeah, I got a legendary. I don't need to get any more weapon. No, 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 no. You need to keep crafting until you get an extremely high roll, because you can get rolls like these that will decimate every single person on the field, especially these types of bows. If you get this bow, you're going to just pierce straight through the enemy. You're going to do insane damage to other players because they don't have the defense. They don't have the high rolls that you got. It's the same thing for the armors as well. You can get insane rolls on that, but it gives like some extra stats, like let's say higher vitality, higher more armor penetration, armor damage, or something like that. So it's really all about that RNG, guys, on what you get on your rolls and what you get on et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of things that can happen that you can get. So it's really random. I don't know exactly how their system works. If it's just a randomly generated number, just be like, boom, here you go. You know, something like that. It literally could be like that. There couldn't be even, it might not be even be a percentage. You literally could be like, you have 1% chance to get this or anything else. So it's all, it feels like it's just completely random. Just completely randomly generated. It's not really like, you know, any other RNG system. I think it's just like, here, have this, you know, just randomly hands out stuff. So it doesn't really, I don't know if it's RNG based. Like, it really just feels like it's so random that it's like, just throw stuff at you and be like, boom, here you go, you know. Okay, so last but not least, let's go ahead and start talking about the artillery craftsman. It's basically very similar to the unit craftsman. It requires the same materials and stuff like this. As you can tell, it requires an insane amount of resources to craft artillery in this game. At the very beginning of the game, if you there's multiple things that they have their little event things. If you participate in the CBT or participate in the open weekend or do stuff like that, they'll give you some siege equipment at the beginning of the game on OBT. Like if you pre-order this, hey, have some siege equipment. If you they might sell siege equipment on their store. I don't know. They probably will, but you can also craft it, but it takes an insane amount of time to craft this stuff. So the extremely important thing is to make sure you use your siege equipment wisely. Don't go off on all over the place and place siege equipment on the base thing, because on the CBT, on the first beginning, because the Black Friday sale, they decided to hand out all their little Black Friday siege stuff. So I use that all without really thinking and stuff like that, because we had the wars and everything like that, but I could have used some of the ballistas during the wars. Only use your siege equipment when you know you really need to. Okay, so when you're doing just normal daily battles and stuff like that, don't use the siege equipment, because they already have siege equipment on the fields, and so just use those for them. For those things. So it requires a pretty huge amount of resources, as you can tell. So 400 iron, 200 lumber, 200 copper, and stone 100. So it's a lot of resources and a lot of time just to craft one. So I would say, like, instead of at the very beginning of the game, when you just have all your, like I said, all your units, you just use bronze to purchase it through the quick buy thing. Just for resource gathering, just keep gathering and gathering and gathering and gathering and gathering, and put it all in your camp, and just one day be like, okay, I'm going to craft them all. I'm going to start crafting all this stuff, and I'm going to start crafting all the siege weapons and stuff like that. That's what I plan to do for our OBTs, to craft a lot of the siege equipment. I plan to craft a lot of the I believe it's culverins. I believe it's culverin. Or is it cannons? I do not know. I can't remember exactly. But I plan to craft a lot of ballistas and cannons, because they're a well-placed siege equipment can change the tide of the battle completely. So you got to be smart in when you play, where you place these and how you use it. You will not, if you place it in battle, you will not get these back. So there's no reload, there's no ammo or anything like that. If it gets destroyed, you lose it. If you place it, you lose it. You know, that's just how it is. It has a minimum amount of ammo on where you place it, so you can make sure you place it exactly where you need it. So I think that's pretty much it. Just craft all the resources at the unit refinery agent, and go back to this guy and craft all your siege equipment. I think that's it. I have a lot of time to edit, so thank you guys for coming back to the next episode of Conqueror's Blade Basics, and I'll see you guys in the next video and the open weekend. Talk to you guys later.